This is a trendy one here.
What is up, Coffee Nation? We got a new coffee review. So today we're doing Mr.Brown Blue Mountain Blend. To pour this coffee, I got an album, The Beginning Stages of the Polyphonic Spree, The Art of War by Sun Tzu. Pick your poison. So let's start with this new format coffee review. So the album choice of the day. Well, this isn't necessarily something I would play for my friends. Not at all. Ultimately, it's very mellow. It's very, spiritual. It's goth rock from the 90s. It only occurred to me to review it with some coffee. Ooh. Okay. A little bit back because it came to my town and I didn't get tickets, and I regret getting tickets, but also it's not like the end of the world because it isn't something you will listen to with your friends or play when people come over. It's something you listen to in your room alone. I used to do it in high school. Right before school, I would listen to that with a morning cup of coffee and, just to kind of get me jumped. It's very upbeat, gospel rock. It's got a very churchy element to it. 27 pieces. Band varies a bit too, but definitely a product of the 90s. I mean, there's a lot like it out there, but it's not really the same. But it's also not like, they aren't radio hits. It stands somewhere on my shelf between the Smashing Pumpkins and Frank Zappa. Not very close to either of those, but also not, 100%. It's a big piece group. So, definitely give it a listen. It's free on YouTube, and you'll see what I mean. Now, our book, The Art of War, and I had the Shambhala Dragons edition, translated by Thomas Cleary. This one, actually, I've quite enjoyed. Never have I ever had a book so misquoted by, media and popular media. Keep your enemies close, or keep your friends close, but your enemies closer. I'm misquoting it now, too. That's what everybody hears, but you can make it, it's 300 pages, or 167 pages, sorry, of essentially, text. That's like not even a sentence. I don't even think that's the full sentence. I'm halfway through the book right now. I haven't even made it to that part. Generally, I mean, it's a pretty easy read. It's just a collection of old Chinese generals and their opinion on how to manage troops and, supplies and strategies for war. It translates really well to, modern HR manuals. So I got a lot of that vibe, and they're all fairly decent, ideas, Manage your resources well. Take much from the enemy to preserve your own. Treat people well, send them in good conditions. A lot of, things that maybe have been lost when this was originally, produced in 12th century China, but valuable nonetheless. And so really rather enjoyed this read. There are a lot of good stuff. Not a whole lot of story or like action to it. The whole thing reads like a manual, and like more specifically a workplace manual. But it's got some really good points in there. Okay. Uh, and then the coffee of the episode. We've done Mr.Brown previously. This one is a special Blue Mountain blend. Now, those of you who don't know Blue Mountain, it's a region in Jamaica. Blue Mountain blend, I feel like it's the new Kona blend. Really, because Kona in the early 2000s, everybody was saying it was Kona coffee, but really it's Kona blend. And like 95% of the Kona you get isn't pure Kona, it's Kona blend. And this is the same thing. It's Blue Mountain blend, product of Taiwan, ingredients, water, coffee extract, and it's a milk coffee too, Coffee Nation. So it's not good enough to stand on its own. I want a black Blue Mountain blend, but this is probably not even like 2% of that, or like they have a little bit to season it in there. Overall, I mean, a lot of it's lost. You got the milk, the sweetener. It's got like a very chocolatey kind of flavor to it, which is kind of a theme for these canned coffees. I know they're like, this one's a product of Taiwan, and a lot of the low budget coffee markets will kind of savor that flavor, so to say. But yeah, I mean, it's got kind of a chemical taste to it, kind of a dessert taste. You definitely taste the milk, you taste the sweetness with a little bit of coffee, but not enough to generally, like, I wouldn't grab this if I wanted a bold cup of coffee. I would grab this, if I drank iced coffee beverage, like I wanted a cheap alternative to one of those Starbucks jars. And that's what it is, Coffee Nation. And I think that's what Mr.Brown intends to sell as the product. But all in all, I just saw Blue Mountain, and that's very uncommon in the world of coffee. Because like a bag of, or a pound of Blue Mountain beans, it's like on par with Kona. It's like, $160 or whatever. So it's, similar. It's just supposed to be high quality coffee, and this does not reflect that. So drinkable, yes. Enjoyable, yes. Sweet and poppy. It's not perfect, but I had to grab a Blue Mountain blend. So you want to taste Blue Mountain coffee, do not get this. But you like an iced coffee beverage, get it. And I call this coffee beverage, not actual coffee, because you can barely taste any coffee. But speaking of coffee, stay coffee.